It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right. Well, a good morning to you out there. It is a beautiful morning here in South Florida. We are transmitting from Palm Beach County, and it is the Fish Florida Show. An honor and a privilege to have you listen in. My usual co-host, Pam Worth, she is out there pre-fishing for one of the tournaments that she's involved in. I hope to hear from her. But in the meantime, I have Robert Warner. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine. He is the editor of the Florida Fisherman magazine. He is one of my regulars, and always an honor and a privilege to have him on because he brings about such a wide variety of information. He has such a large network of people. So, Robert, good morning, and thank you for joining in and helping out today. I greatly appreciate it, my friend.
Good morning. A pleasure to be here. I hope everybody's having a great morning. It is absolutely beautiful out. So, yeah, if you're not outside, you should be. So.
I took a look at the radar, and it's just about completely nothing that's going on out there. Let's see. We looked up the marine forecast. Let me see if I have that. It looked pretty good.
Well, I can tell you from my backyard, there's not even a breeze. So.
Yeah, they're saying the winds will pick up later in the day, which is common, 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be around 2 feet. Intercoastal waters will have a moderate chop. Those of you who are going to go if you're going to go to the beach today, the NOAA has put out a moderate risk of rip currents on all Atlantic beaches. So you're going to go out to the beach today, just be aware of that. There may be a rip, I call it a rip current, rip tide. It's not something you want to get caught up in. So just be aware of it, that there's a moderate risk of that today, I guess because of the way the waves are coming in or whatever's happening. But just be aware. Best thing the greatest tool that we can have at our use is knowledge. So, it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day.
If only 2 feet, that's a great day to be out. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm getting a feedback in there somewhere. Are you on a speakerphone, Robert?
Nope, I am not.
I was getting a feedback in there. Anyway, let's see. So
that was my car backing up.
Oh, she snuck in on us.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Pam. I didn't have that window open, so I couldn't figure out where was that coming from.
When my car backs up and then there's something behind it, like my trailer, it'll do that beepy sound.
Couldn't figure that out. Well, how are we doing, Pam?
Good. Thank you for having me back on.
Always.
I'm up around Cape Canaveral today, and pre-fishing for the IFA, which is next weekend.
Yeah, sounds like you got a good signal. How you doing so far?
So far, so good. I got my trout and I got my redfish. I hope next week I do as well as this week, because together I had I had over 50 inches.
Wow.
My trout yesterday was 28, almost 29 inches.
My goodness.
Oh, they get some big ones up in there.
Yeah. I was trying a new lure by Live Target, and it's really a bass lure. It looks like a little whitefish or a little shad. And I figured out you can work it so it like flitters on the top, the way that if the guys put that white bat in the bait bat and they toss it, you know how the fish kind of swim in circles? Mm-hmm. You can make it do that. It's really cool.
Well, anybody who has never interchanged lures for fish is making a horrible mistake. My favorite lure for blackfin tuna is a large black rubber worm like they use for bass fishing.
Oh, big like an eel or like for bass?
Yes. They make about a 10-inch long black rubber worm for bass fishing. If you get into a school of tuna, that's all you need is that and a hook or a lead head. Hook that on it and start throwing it. So.
There you go. I'll have to remember that when I go down to Panama in a couple weeks.
Yep. Take some big old black bass rubber worms with you.
Okay. I will.
Isn't it? I think about how, I don't want to say technical, maybe that's a better word. Technical fishing can become, and I compare that to when we were kids. I would literally leave with a fishing rod, a tackle box, and a 5-gallon pail. We wouldn't even have bait. We'd go down to the water's edge at the saltwater canals that we had there, and we'd break open the mussels of the oysters, whatever you want to call them, and use that for bait to catch little pinfish, and we'd use the pinfish, live bait, to fish for the other fish. And it was very simple.
We used to grab the barnacles.
Yeah.
Crack open the barnacles. Yep.
Very, very simple. It's when I think of how it is today versus how it was back then, big change. But it's always enjoyable though. Hey, Pam, what does the seas look like up there?
It was really nice. I stayed in the lagoon. It's a little windy. The wind was coming kind of strong out of the west, out of the east. But it's doable.
And we're seeing, or the forecast is saying anyway, that seas are about 2 feet or so. Is that what you're seeing?
I didn't go into the ocean.
Oh, okay. You were in backwater the whole time.
Yeah, I was in the lagoon the whole time.
Oh, okay.
It's calling for a light chop there, so.
Yeah, well, they said moderate. Yeah, that's right. Yep. So you're going to be fishing. Is this today the final day for you? No.
No, yeah, it's the final day. Well, not really the final day. I'm pre-fishing. The tournament is next weekend. And the Inshore Fishing Association, IFA, it's lure only, no live bait. And the boats go on Saturday out of New Smyrna. And their goal is to catch 2 legal redfish, as heavy as they can get them, but within the legal limit. And the kayaks, and they call them CULL, and they bring them in and weigh them. On the kayak, because there's no real way to keep a fish alive, we do CPR, catch, photograph, and release. And our goal is the biggest redfish, no matter how big, must be at least 18 inches, and the biggest trout, no matter how big, and that must be at least 15 inches. And for the boats, it's the heaviest weight between your 2 reds. And for the kayak, you add the inches together, and it's the greatest inches.
Wow. Well, you got a jump start on that then. It sounds like you did anyway.
I mean, anybody can do it. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it.
Wow.
But it adds that one thing of finesse. You can't sit there and soak baits. You actually have to get out there with lures. So that's fun.
And I'm shocked
I kind of like lure fishing anyway. So.
Say that again.
Me too.
Say it again,
I like
Robert.
the finesse.
Robert, say it again. I didn't catch it.
I said I like lure fishing anyway, so I prefer it in most cases. So.
Well, I haven't had a lot of experience. I mean, we have pulled, when we were trolling, we pulled plastic, but I haven't really had a lot of experience with regard to using it, like if the boat is relatively standing still or something and casting out a lure and working it. Very little experience in that. For me, it's always been either live or dead bait, and minimal on the lures. I did have a friend of mine years ago who I thought was crazy, but it worked. He would take his lures, he'd get the stinkiest fish he could find, and he'd stick it in there for like a week in a baggie, and just let it smell to you know what. And we'd go fishing. He'd open that bag. I could be 5 feet. He'd open that bag. He opened that bag. It was horrible. But he caught fish. He pulled his plastic that had been soaking in this stuff, and I guess it caused the fish to think that it was something alive. But that's about the extent of it. From what I hear from all the different people, from whether it's JCam or whether it's Pam or you, Robert. Let's see who else down there down in the Keys, down there, Angelia. If you're not using a lure, you truly are doing yourself a disservice. I did, to be honest with you, I ordered some of I think they're called trailers from Captain Fultz.
Peter.
Not from Peter, from the Crappy Psychic.
Okay.
I ordered some from him because we have these canals around here, these brackish water canals, and take the grandkids fishing, and it's really messy with the worms. So, and I tried those, and I was quite surprised. They really did. They worked. So I'm picking up experience. Like I said, I love doing the show because I'm always learning. I would have never even thought about something like that. I would still be using worms to get my fingers dirty.
Pam was talking about using different lures. Anybody who has never tried a jitterbug for surface snook is mistaken also. So I know they are primarily a bass lure, but if you have never used a jitterbug fishing for snook, you are making a mistake. So
I think
I use a lot of bass lures. I just trade out the hooks.
I think today we use a quote bass lure in salt water, and the fish says, I ain't biting, that's a bass lure, we're in trouble.
Well, they don't know. Anybody
that's what I
thinks
figured,
that fish are that brilliant, they are mistaken.
Well,
it's funny. They'll say that it's only hitting this color, it's only hitting that color. I don't believe it. I don't believe a word of it. So
I've heard the same thing many times.
I think it's whatever you happen to put in front of them. So that's the whole problem, is getting it in front of them. So
where they see it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Pam, how's it going up there right now? You are on the water, right? I may have lost her. She said she was in an area that was kind of sparse.
Maybe the phone went in the water.
Hopefully not. Prayerfully not. But she did say she was in. That was why I had asked you to come in and stand in for her, because she said, I'm going to be in an area where it's going to be kind of iffy. I said, well, if you can call in, if
she
you
had
think you
told
do
me
it.
also. So.
Yep. So that's great. I'm so fortunate to have people like you and her, and Angelia is another one that's going to be a regular. I needed somebody down in the Keys because we used to have somebody down there. We don't have anybody down there. We didn't have anybody. We do now. To tell us about what's going on in the Keys. We have you can tell us all what's going on all up and down the East Coast. We have Pam tells us about the West Coast. So we have basically both sides of the state covered, and I'm greatly appreciative.
Yeah, Darren Luce is going to be on later. He is our social media director for the magazine, and he fishes primarily the West Coast. He is quite a character. He's going to be a lot of fun to have on.
So when you say West Coast, it's saltwater and Gulf. He's fishing Gulf.
Yeah, he's primarily a Gulf fisherman. He fishes out of Tampa most of the time in that area, Tampa, Bradenton. He is getting ready to go down to the Keys with Kayvon here in the next couple of weeks, but he fishes primarily the west side of the state, so he'll have some information on that, I'm sure. So
while we're talking about the Florida Fisherman magazine, how are we doing with the Florida? I was looking at it the other day. I was quite impressed.
The new issue just came out.
Yes, quite impressed.
That was issue number 15. Just came out.
I can see why you're so busy all the time. It took a lot of work to put all that. My goodness, I can't tell you how many pages it was, but it was quite a few. And interesting stories with very cute young ladies on there. The real fisher women, if you will, not the ones that just kind of look nice but don't touch the fish, not them. The ones who really get in there and do it. And Stephanie Lynn is another one who doesn't cease to amaze me. This young lady, another picture of her and what was it, a dog-toothed tuna? Am I saying that right?
Dog-toothed tuna, yep.
I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, she was in Indonesia. So.
Yeah, I didn't even know they existed. Her with this thing is almost as big as she is. And she's snorkeling, and what do you call that thing? Is it a sling? Or is it I guess she uses an actual gun.
Well, she uses a gun, and she uses a pole spear.
Oh, okay.
That dolphin that she set the world record for was because it was done with a pole spear.
That's another. I can't imagine being. You know what? You and I know. Anybody who doesn't, they will in just a moment. When you cut a dolphin, they bleed just almost like a human bleeds. I remember times getting into a schooled dolphin with my boat, and of course, like most boats, my boat was white on the inside. Well, my goodness, when we were done, it looked like we were at war. There was blood
like the
everywhere.
Floor of the emergency room, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And so she's in a snorkel. She doesn't even have a oxygen or a tank. on her back. She's got a snorkel, and she's spearing these fish, which the first thing that's going to happen is blood's going to go everywhere. And you know what happens when you get blood in the water. We have sharks around. So that young lady has got some really, she's very, very, very brave. Very, very brave.
Anybody that wants to meet her can come by the Wild Blue show in Fort Lauderdale. I believe it's April 26th and 27th. If you can check that. But it's the show called the Wild Blue. It involves every water sport there is, underwater, kayaks, paddle boards, fishing,
wow,
sailing, you name it. And she will be there. We will be there together for the show. So if anybody wants to come by and say hello to Stephanie, she will be there.
I'm looking for my pen so I can write that down. So you have to remind me again. What was it, the 26th?
I believe so. It's called the Wild Blue. You can look it up. It's at the convention center in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. The Wild Blue. Yeah, we'll have to check that out because I'm still looking for someone to be kind of a semi-regular.
Or the Blue Wild, I guess it is. Yeah.
I'm looking for someone maybe to be like a semi-regular that's under the water so we can get reports of what's going on under the water. Down at the bottom with the reef and is it growing?
She travels so much that it's probably difficult for her. She's in the Bahamas one week and in Indonesia the next week.
Yeah,
probably be difficult for her to do it.
But I'll tell you what she does is very interesting, and I watched a couple of videos of her. It is amazing, really is. How old is she? She's like in her 20s, right?
Yeah, she's in her mid-20s. I would think. As a matter of fact, she's coming by the office Monday. I have not met her in person yet. She's coming by the office Monday, so we can sit and talk for a while. But
what an amazing young lady in their 20s, because I know some people in their 20s who are on the other side of the fence of that stuff. That's the last thing in the world that they would do, and doing things of that nature. People who do that, who find interest in things like that, these are generally people who don't end up on the wrong side of the law, people who actually add to society instead of taking away from society. So it's to me, it's an incentive for other young people. Look at what this young person does. What can you do? May not be able to do what she does, with regard to diving and all that, but there's other things that you can do, So it's to me, I love it.
And in talking to her, the interacting with the people in the areas that she goes to is something she enjoys also. You'll see a picture of her in the article with some of the little kids from the area.
I saw that. Yeah.
Just getting to meet all of these different people from different parts of the world that help her out, I think is as important to her as the diving. So.
Yeah, I seem to get that from her. So that she's not only beautiful on the outside, but the beauty comes from the inside out. She's that kind of person, and I feel that from her. Watching her on the videos and some of the pictures you were talking about, interacting with some of the children. The one that comes to mind, she's kind of crouching down to their level and showing them, I think, something on her cell phone or some pictures or maybe a video or something like that.
Did you also see the article about the guy who had to shoot his friend in the foot?
When I saw the title of that, what? You're going to shoot your friend to save his life? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Yeah. He ended
there's some good articles in there. I think it was 87 pages this month, and there's some great articles in there. Family Fishing with Luce and Sherilyn Arnold is in there. There's some great stuff in there, and hope everybody enjoys the magazine, and we enjoy the feedback and letting us know what you like and what you don't like. So
that's flfishmag.com, correct?
Correct.
flfishmag.com. So if you want to see any of that, that's where you go. And I'll tell you what, this last edition, it was very impressive. You can tell that there was a lot of work and a lot of passion went into this. And I remember from my days years ago when I tried to do individual pages on the web, it's time consuming and it's somebody, you have to be committed, really. I think that's the best way to put it. You have to be committed.
It is, and you probably should be committed if you sit and do it too long. So, it normally takes about a week to 10 days to put that together, and by the time we're done, I'm done. So I finished it Friday night, and I don't even want to look at a computer for another week or two.
Eyes are probably crossed and vibrating away from the 60 or 50 hertz or whatever the refresh rate is.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, it's that magic time, my friends. We've got to acknowledge our sponsors. So it's the Fish Florida Show with Riscala this morning with Robert from the Florida Fisherman magazine. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Grace has some pretty stellar arms, like Serena Williams good, but her face is pretty disgusting.
Someone please tell him to go back into his closet and leave us alone.
Brittany's face is so stupid and I hate her so much. It's like a scientist created her in a lab to annoy humanity and didn't even do that good of a job.
Megan reminds me of a troll doll that came to life intent on killing us with her stupidity.
Why is Grace's head so big? It definitely has nothing to do with how smart she is and probably everything to do with how bloated she is.
He's so funny. Just kidding. Who would find this disfigured flamingo funny?
Never post a selfie of yourself. You look so ugly.
The only reason you have so many views is because we think you're a freak and we can't look away.
Megan is the main reason that the world sucks so much.
I would rather get cancer than listen to another Trevor Moran song.
You are a mistake. You should have never been born.
Drown yourself in a shallow puddle, please.
Wow, I hope she's sterile.
These really stopped being funny a long time ago.
You're so much more than the things that people say about you.
Those people have no right to say cruel things to you to make themselves feel better.
It's okay that you sound different than everyone else.
That's what makes you so special.
We will not tolerate it.
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 Every day, people make me feel like I stand out simply because of the way that I look.
Every day, people make me feel small.
Every day, I face the cruel words of bullying.
And every day, people tell me that I'm brave for enduring this humiliation.
But we're not the brave ones.
It's the ones that say no to the bullying.
The witnesses.
If we all join together, there's nothing that we can't do. We will no longer be the silent majority.
When we see bullying online,
We will let the world know that we're going to take action with the eye.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
Our actions will overpower cruel words.
I am a witness.
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 There is power in words.
But it's nothing compared to the power of the actions that we put behind our words.
Visit eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm gonna stand by you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, a good morning to you if you're just joining us and you missed any of this conversation that we've been having. You can always catch us on the archives. The archives will be up here. Hopefully, we'll be all caught up with the archives. I'm about a week or two behind on the archives, but they'll all be caught up this next couple of days here. We'll have them all in place. And so anything that you miss, you can always go back and listen to. And now, usually I have, those of you who normally listen, you know that I have Pam Worth. She's one of the top female kayak anglers here in Florida. I usually have her as my co-host. She is out there literally pre-fishing for one of the events that she's going to be competing in. So in her place, I've got Robert Warner from the Florida Fisherman magazine, who is kind enough to stand up and kind of take the bat and go, "Yes, sir, we're going to do it." So thank you, Robert. I greatly appreciate that. Good morning, sir.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
So
just so everybody knows, the fishing is just caught on fire here in the last few days. This last cold front, I guess, hopefully it's the last one, but it pushed everything right into place. There are Patrick Price from Daymaker Charters limited out on cobia yesterday.
Wow.
The day before that, actually, I guess it was Thursday, I was over filming his fishing report, and he had just pulled into the dock. He was with a angler named Andy Gare, who had caught a 42-pound mahi.
Oh, my goodness.
And they're releasing sailfish from, at least from where I am, all the way down into the Keys. So the fishing is great. So if you've got the opportunity and you've got the time, get out there. So
did you happen to see? I saw a post. I don't remember who put the post up, and I don't know how recent it was, but somebody was fishing in the Keys and caught like a 780 some odd pound swordfish. Did you see that?
Yeah.
At a Bud and Mary's. Was that recent?
That's Nick Stanzik. That is Captain Nick Stanzik. He is probably the best sword fisherman in the Keys and probably anywhere.
Wow.
He has dialed in sword fishing like nobody I have ever seen. So
I had no idea
he does a phenomenal job, and he is just amazing.
I had no idea we had anything like that out there. Apparently, the angler fought for like 8 hours. I was hoping to get whoever it was to come on the show and kind of share with us what. I can't imagine what it would be like. He's still recovering.
Still that one off. So.
I can't imagine for 8 hours. Many years ago, a friend of mine, he would do this thing called Hero or Zero. They would go out for, targeting a specific thing, and that particular day was a mako shark. He wanted a mako shark so that he could hang it on his wall. So we went out to, this was down in the Keys, we went out to this place called The Hump, I think it was, and we caught some amberjack.
Yep.
And caught 2-3 huge amberjack on electric reels, which I thought was the coolest thing in the world, because it was really, they hook it, and no sooner than they hook it, you hit the button and zoop, this thing they come up so quick, their eyeballs pop out, and so anyway, they cut up the amberjack, used that for the bait, and we went out for I think it was called a 409 Rips. I'm just going by memory, I may be wrong, but we went out to somewhere near there and hooked into a shark. Now he fought this shark for at least 2 hours, wore himself out after about 2 hours or so. So there's like 3 or 4 of us on the yacht with him. And so we all took turns. Well, I'm telling you, maybe 15 minutes is all I lasted with it. And it was literally like pulling on the bottom. I didn't think we had a fish. I kept saying, "You guys sure this is a fish?" And yeah, I feel like I'm pulling on a Volkswagen here. Nope, you got a shark. We got a shark. We ended up fighting it for about 4.5 hours before it broke the line and took off. So I can't imagine 8 hours with a fish, fighting a fish for 8 hours. You're right. I'd still be recovering.
Yeah, it takes a while. If you fight a fish for that long, you are worn out. So.
I would imagine that you are literally, the bits and pieces of you that you didn't even know existed are just
and you will hurt for days.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So, do you know? Did they keep? I think they kept the fish, right?
Oh, they did. Yeah.
So what do you do?
Some very valuable food there. So
that was going to be my next question. Is maybe a silly question. What do you do with a 780 some odd pound swordfish?
That's a lot of swordfish steaks is what that is.
You aren't
That's
kidding.
a whole lot of swordfish steaks.
Do you think they sold it locally down there to restaurants and stuff
I'm
like that?
sure they did. I'm sure that normally something that size, they'll give the angler, as much as he wants to take, and they sell the rest to the local seafood market. So.
Wow. That's amazing. I saw the pictures.
I don't know anybody that can eat 700 pounds of swordfish. So.
Keep you busy for a while.
Even 500 pounds after it's cleaned, nobody's gonna eat 500 pounds of swordfish. So.
It would definitely keep you busy for a while. A lot of smoking going on there. Smoked swordfish. I love smoked swordfish. That is some of the best stuff. And to me, it's the closest.
Swordfish steaks are awesome.
Yes, I was about to say that when we do steaks, it's the closest thing to actual, regular steak, like red meat steak. Amazing stuff. Amazing. So we have somebody who's a professional at do you know him? Have you spoken to him, the captain?
The Nick?
Yeah.
I've talked with Nick before, yeah.
Well, can you see if you can get him on? Ask him to come on.
His fishing schedule is booked.
Oh, okay. It is
trying
difficult.
to catch him on a weekend is probably impossible. But I'll give him a call and see if he can do it someday. But
yeah,
he is one seriously booked up fisherman. So.
And from my recollection, sword fishing is done at night, but I think this was done during the day. Is that right?
No. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Nick has this dialed in. He catches as many in the day as he does at night. So
wow,
he is the man. If you're going sword fishing and you're not fishing with Nick Stanzik, you're doing it wrong. So
we'll have to remember that. Yeah, I'd like to see if we can get him on and tell us a little bit about how he does what he does, because in my memory. I had the same friend of mine that would go called Hero Zero. He had more money and he had common sense. He would go out sword fishing, but it would always be at night, and they would use things like ballyhoo, but they would stuff a glow stick inside the thing. That was the craziest stuff.
Yeah, glow sticks are a part of this. You normally tie them near the lure or in the lure or on the lure or on the bait.
Yeah, it was crazy thing that they would do, and to try to catch these guys, but. I never heard of anyone coming up with something the size of that. My friend had caught a couple of, but they were smaller ones in comparison to that. They're like 150 pounds, 200 pounds babies.
Yeah, Nick has every swordfish record in the Keys and in Florida. So
wow. Yeah, well, we'll see if we can get him on. So my next guest, I guess he said that he may be out on the water. He may be having issues trying to call in, because we should have heard from him by now. So we'll just kind of move forward. If he calls in, I'll catch up to him when he calls in. So anything going on with regard to different tournaments right now that you can tell us about?
Well, actually, there's a couple of them. They'll have to look on the Florida Fisherman magazine Facebook page. We posted a couple of them the other day. And I believe the big kingfish tournaments are coming up, a couple of those, but what's her name? Summer Warren's tournaments are starting in September, or actually in July, I guess is her first one, but you can check her schedule anytime. Summer Warren, it's, what is the name of hers? It's.
Oh, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
KCW, or I don't remember.
I'll look it up. I'll give me a second. I'll tell you what it is.
It's Chasing Tails.
That's what it is. Chasing Tails
is her website,
yeah.
And I don't remember the name of the tournaments, but if you just go to Chasing Tails,
yeah,
you'll find the tournament schedule there, and she's a great lady, and she puts on a great tournament.
Yeah, for great causes too.
Yes,
great causes.
Very much so.
So what else is happening that you know?
Yeah, the fishing's been great. The flounder have moved in. Again, Sherilyn and Lewis Arnold sent me some pictures for the magazine. Flounder fishing. The flounder have moved in. So they're in close, and the redfish are great, and the snook fishing is great, and just the fishing right now. This is April through July is my favorite times to fish in Florida, and this is why. I mean, it all starts now, and the only reason I stop in July is it just gets too damn hot in August to be out there. So
when people are flounder fishing, again, this is for my own benefit. When people are flounder fishing, can you tell me a little bit about the rig that they use to do that? 'Cause you're targeting flounder, right? So I imagine it's a bottom kind of rig, right?
It is, and my friend Larry Larry does a lot of flounder fishing, and he specifically uses finger mullet.
Interesting.
And just enough weight to keep him on the bottom, and you just bounce it along the bottom, and he lets the boat drift. Soft sand bottom, and you're normally 4, 5, 6 feet of water, and he just lets the boat drift and bounce the finger mullet along the bottom, and Larry does really well with it. So I'm guessing that's a great method. I have never been flounder fishing myself, and I'm going with Larry soon.
Oh, cool.
But
yeah, let me know how that turns
method,
out.
and because he and I have discussed it at great length. So
I'm thinking, flounder fishing. When I think of flounder fishing, I think of like fishing from the beach, off the shore, off the beach, that kind of thing. And
I'm sure it's the same thing. Whatever you throw, it has to stay on the bottom.
And it's sandy, right?
You have to just move it along. You have to be able to move it to where they are, because they're not a fish that's out looking for food. They are laying and hiding, waiting for it to come to them. So.
Mm-hmm. But they're in sand, right?
Get it on top of them or in front of them. So what's that?
They're in sand, right? It's not like a coral. They're
Correct.
They're
Right,
sandy
they're
bottom.
buried in sand, waiting for something to swim by so they can grab it.
Yeah, an opportunist. Sounds like some of our politicians.
Exactly. Yes. We won't go there. It's funny. I have to have that conversation at least once a week on the magazine's Facebook page. We don't discuss politics or religion on here, folks. So I'm deleting all your comments, and keep that in mind from here on. We do not discuss politics or religion on this page. So,
with everything that's going on, it's difficult to, Oh well, it is what it is. All right. Well, we're a little bit ahead of schedule. Anything you want to talk about before we get on with? Let's see. Yeah, Darren is the next one coming up. He's due on here in just a little bit. So we've got about another maybe 10 minutes, roughly, before he comes on.
Well, I would certainly like to thank some of the people that help us with the magazine.
Sure, let's do that.
Captain Patrick Price from Daymaker Charters, who always does a report for us. Captain Griffin Deans from Slot Machine Charters. Captain Danny Allen from Southern Salt Charters. These guys all, from various parts of the state, they all help us out. Oh, and of course, our folks, can't leave them out. Charlie Rogers and Melanie House from Against the Grain Charters in Key Largo, who are our personal captains for the magazine. They help us with a lot of things. They're always in there. They've always got something interesting. Charlie is probably one of the better captains in the Keys for sure, always on the fish. And, Sherilyn and Louis Arnold, who do this family fishing thing for us every month. We had so many pictures sent in for readers' features this month, which is people just sending in pictures of fish they caught recently, or sometimes it's their biggest fish. But we had so many that we had 168 pictures sent in.
Wow.
There was no way I could get them all up. I'm sorry, I could not get them all up. We got as many as we could. And when there's that many of them, I try to make sure all the kids' pictures get in there. So, if I left you out, I'm sorry. We'll try it again next month, and I'm going to run it just for one day because the response was too big leaving it up for 3 days. I couldn't possibly get them all into the magazine. But thank everybody that sent in pictures, and we've got a great group out there that follows the magazine. It's like a great big family, and I want to thank them all for all the help.
Well, to me, it's testament to when people get and work together, what you can do is just about limitless. And if anybody goes to flfishmag.com, they can see the quality. This is really you can see this is commitment, quality, a nice piece of work that has been put up there. Very interesting, very well done, very professional. It's not something that was thrown together in a hasty kind of way. It's something you can easily see took time and very carefully crafted so that the presentation is very nice. It's very, very nice. And I commend you and all of the people that joined in. I mean, this is I know you carry a burden or quite a bit of the burden of the end result, but it took a lot of people coming together in order for that to happen. And so all of them, big thanks to everybody.
It definitely does. And Darren will be on. Darren's a part of that. Lindsay, who is another one of our magazine editors who lives down in the Keys, helps us out tremendously with this. Also Rick Sutherland from Sutherland Outdoors, who does all the freshwater reports for us. I want to thank him. We didn't have any freshwater reports until a few months ago, and Rick has done a phenomenal job of keeping us up to date as to what's going on.
Yeah, we've had him on the show a couple of times, and he does a really good job of letting us know what's going on with regard to the freshwater fishing and what's happening. Anyway,
yeah, Rick's a great guy, and he does a great job with the reports every month, and just everybody. People are so great. Oh, Kelly Bisson, who is on the cover this month, she and her husband Keith are people that I have known for at least from the magazine for several years now, and they've got actual pictures. I don't know if you can find these anymore, but their wedding weekend. They had their wedding in Isla Mirada, and they were fishing the entire weekend. There's pictures of them, and it's funny because she goes, "Well, at least I wore a white bikini."
Oh, my goodness!
But they have been fishing forever together. Sean and Laura Thompson, who help us out, and they were actually the principal people that helped me when I first got started. So you will see them around forever. I love those people, and like I said, it's just like a big family, and I love them all, and I appreciate everything they do for us. So.
Kind of stuff I like to hear about. Okay, it's that magic moment, my friends, where we have to acknowledge our sponsors.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
From the author of Silent Steps and Haunted, Finding an Explanation for the Unknown, comes a story so chilling it will haunt you for years to come. Krista is a young woman escaping her past, running away from her family, her traumas, and her God, hoping to find a new life in a different town. But when she is forced to make a horrible choice, she comes to realize malevolent entities have controlled the true darkness she has been a part of. That is when her real terror begins. Penitence is disturbing and evocative. It will tear down the walls between what is real and what is nightmare. Penitence is the new novel by the man called the new master of speculative fiction, Ira Robinson. Find it and all of his books at his website, originalworlds.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer, and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today. 561-793-9992. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, where your pet gets celebrity treatment.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Well, good morning to you if you're just joining, and welcome back if you've been with us. It's been quite an interesting conversation we've been having this morning. Normally I have Pam Worth. She's one of the top female kayak anglers here in Florida as my co-host. She's actually out pre-fishing one of the tournaments that she's involved in somewhere near Cape Canaveral, and we had the opportunity to speak with her briefly this morning. She is in an area where it's very sparse, and she kind of warned me about that ahead of time. So I am grateful for people like Robert Warner. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine. He's the editor. And if you're just joining in, you missed out on a little conversation that we had about the magazine, all the different things that occur in order for this to come forward. A very professionally done, very interesting magazine. You can find it at flfishmag.com. Our next guest is going to be Darren, Darren Luce, and he is the social media editor, if I'm not mistaken, with the magazine. He's going to kind of fill us in on a few things. So welcome, Darren, to the Fish Florida Show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Morning, Darren.
Morning, Robert, boss man. I've been listening to you guys chit-chat.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So what's new over there, buddy?
On this coast, just the redfish and the snook are on fire. Getting ready for my Keys trip. That's going to be different. So all that information that you guys were just talking about, I'm writing down like crazy. I'm taking a 7-day trip down to the Keys with Captain Finn, and that should be amazing. Definitely different all down there. That's a new experience for me. So
we have a regular that comes on. Her name is the Florida Salty Cowgirl. So if you're down in the, I think she's in Islamorada. If you're going to be down there, look her up. I'm sure she's willing to show you some of the places, or share with you some of the places to do, or depending upon what you're fishing for.
Yeah, I've heard her name. That's another thing with the magazine. I get to meet and talk to people since I've been involved. It's just amazing. But I've heard her name and spoke with her and seen her posts.
Oh, good. All right, cool.
Oh, yeah, definitely solid people.
Yeah.
And
Darren does a phenomenal job with the social media. He talks to everybody. So, but it is like a family. Isn't it, Darren? Isn't it like a family?
It's 100% like a family.
Well, that's great.
And a good family, too. That works like a...
So
we're a little dysfunctional, but we're all right.
Well, what family is it? What family is it? So what does a social media editor do?
I'm a picture poster. I don't edit the magazine. I'm not skilled in that level, but my main thing is, I talk with people. That's how I met Robert. I was just on different posts a little over a year ago, year and a half maybe. And I was making a joke, and I said, please share it Florida Fisherman magazine, because, that's what he always says. And again, my message pops up, and he says, you want to help out with the magazine? And I was like, get away, you joke. And that's how it started. And since then, I mean, I've met so many amazing people and been able to talk to, people from not just locally, but not just in our country, but from all around the world.
Wow.
And it's just been an amazing experience to hear stories, from literally all around the world, Costa Rica, the Cayman, Bahamas, everywhere, Australia, and be able to, hear their experience and share their pics and share their videos.
Wow.
It's really just been an amazing experience. It opens up a whole different world.
So Robert tells me that you're quite a fisherman as well, on top of all of that.
I'm not, but my friends are, so that makes me pretty good. I started it off when I was real young and then got into commercial fishing. And my father, he brought me up fishing. And we'd always go offshore and do the grouper thing. So I was always an offshore guy. And then I got into long lining, and then I quit that and went to work at Hubbard's Marina, who you'll see in our magazine a lot. Dylan, I actually worked for his dad, Mark. But Dylan was just a little boy back then. But then I got into the sport fishing thing. And then now I just fish mainly for fun. But I've met so many amazing people. I get to fish with Geoff, which I call Jeffrey. I call him Geoff. They call him Jeffrey. But anyways, and, Andrew and stuff like that. So that's, now I am getting into this inshore thing. I've never really gotten into it. I've always been an offshore guy, grouper digger. But the red fishing is amazing around here. I'm out of Clearwater, Florida. So, but the red fishing and snook, it's just a whole different world to me in there.
Have you seen the ocean today, this morning? We have almost flat over here. From what my reports are 2 feet or less over here. Do you know what it's like over there?
I'm not sure the exact. I've seen some guys go live running out, and it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
But they run out in anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, they
I
do.
haven't really. Yeah, they'll run in. Some of my friends are just they're nuts. They'll just go in anything. So I haven't really. I've been doing a little work and getting ready for this, but I haven't even really looked into seeing what the weather is. I'm planning for that trip, that 7-day trip. So that's a lot of work.
So you
get
mentioned
a reel picked out.
Yeah.
Hey, Darren,
I think
did
we're
you
going
get
to
a reel
definitely
picked
go.
out?
Yeah, I think we're going to definitely go with that canyon. That one. We
Yeah,
have
hell of a
plenty of
reel.
other ones. We just want one big one in case we get that big guy down there that you guys were talking about, them sailfish and the big marlins and stuff like that. That was an awesome fish you got. That was a very solid fish.
Oh, Nick Stanzik, that big
swordfish. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to talk to him about that. That was a big one.
Wow.
That's what I mean. I get to talk. Where would I get to see stuff like that? I mean, from sitting in my house in Clearwater, it's amazing to be able to talk to him about stuff like that. You guys were talking about tournaments. We got that Old Salts tournament coming up, King of the Beach. That's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a great.
Now, where's that?
tournament. And
Where's
That one
that?
gets a bunch of people in it.
Where's it happening?
Yes, that one happens right out of here, right out of John's Pass. They'll have the captain's meeting at Gators on the Pass, and then, but people come from all over to fish that King of the Beach. I believe it's April 9th, January, February, March, April. From now until I think May 3rd is the actual tournament. Or May 3rd might be the kids. May 2nd is the adults. But from now until then, they'll have captain meetings and things like that. But that's an awesome event. Old Salts has always done some awesome events and some awesome events for the kids too.
I like the idea of the kids being involved. That to me
yes,
is.
They always get that. They do that. They get a lot of kids out there, and it's amazing.
When
I was amazed how many kids' pictures got sent in this month for the magazine too.
Yeah,
it's good that we're reaching the parents with the kids. That makes me happy. So
that's what it's about.
Way to go.
Yep.
You say that's the future, and I agree with you 100%. And the stats don't lie.
Yeah. Yep, and that we get the guys that complain about the women in bikinis, but I don't know what their problem is.
Well, I can tell you what his problem is.
Yeah,
but we want to stay.
It's a family show, so
that's right. Okay.
It's a family show, Darren. So,
yeah, that's just
but,
we get a lot of that. But I mean, like
well,
you
the
said,
funny part is they
people-
don't even know who these women are, and most of these women can outfish them, which would really embarrass them.
That's exactly 100% right.
Yeah,
So,
You got
I wanted.
people like Rosemary. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I mean,
I will put Virginia Salvador or Melanie
Oh,
House
I
up
would
against any man on earth. So
Virginia would kill him. What are you gonna do? You got people.
I
out
watched
there
her horse up a 60, 70-pound amberjack in about 8 minutes.
No way.
Just
With
yep.
the regular
These are
reel?
solid.
Incredible.
With a
These are solid anglers. They're not chicks that. Some of those chicks are women. Excuse me. Will get out there and hold pictures, hold fish for pictures.
Yeah,
These women are actually solid. You got Cindy Newman out there. I mean, you just got some amazing.
These are girls that go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out, and then go fishing. They're stronger than most of the men I know too.
I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think I could pull up a 65-pound amberjack in that quick. We were pulling them up in about 4 or 5 minutes, but we had electric reels. I had to just hit the button and zzz, the thing would come up. My gosh.
I'm 40 now, but I would stop catching amberjack at 30.
Wow.
If I hook into one, I hand it off. Have fun.
Yeah, me too. My buddy Jorge and I used to do that to each other. We were fishing out of Isla Morada, and we were jigging for amberjack. As a matter of fact, it was when we were out with Virginia. We took her out because she wanted to try out these new Abbott reels or Avettes or whatever they call them, but to see if it would pull up an amberjack. We found out that it wouldn't, but the other ones would. But because the reel was just too small, it didn't have enough line capacity on it. But a bigger one, I'm sure, would have. But Jorge and I we would be jigging for amberjack and hand it off as soon as you felt the tug, you just hand it to the other guy. Go, here, can you hold this for a minute, and then take off to the other end.
How
That's
mean.
exactly what I do.
And then we call each other names.
Yep.
Oh my
and you
goodness.
got people like Laura Thompson. I mean, look at her. She is an amazing.
I know. She catches redfish that are her size. So
I mean,
anybody that's never met Laura's about 5'2", maybe.
Wow.
Her husband now is about 6'5", but she's about 5'2".
My goodness.
They don't go through the whole magazine either. And they're just. I don't understand it, but
at least we know what pictures they were looking at, because out of the 30 or 40 posts a day, there's probably 3 of those girls. So at least we know what gets their attention. So
jeez.
I share hundreds of posts a day easily in there, and they're not all women. So no, we love to see kids. We love to see them all.
Yeah, for me, it's about the family.
Guys anywhere across the world, we share everything.
Yeah,
So I get so many times I meet new people and I get friend requests. And I say, can I share this? And one person will say, yeah, but I'm in Indiana. I'm like, oh, no, we have people everywhere, or I post.
That's what's nice about having it being digital like that.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the platform of, the being on Facebook, Instagram, and then we have the monthly magazine that goes out. That's where Robert and Lou and all them come in. I don't do any of that. That's that technical stuff.
So
I have no patience. That's why I grouper dig.
Darren, I wanted to ask you: are you what kind of?
So Darren,
go ahead,
let
Brian.
me just interrupt for 1 minute. So you know how good he is at this social media. I pulled up the numbers and sent it to him yesterday. Our reach is 862,000 people on social media, and a lot of that is due to Darren. So
wow, congratulations, Darren.
I say we can get 1 million a month easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask him, are you a lure man, or are you a natural bait man, a dead bait, live bait?
No, I've never been into casting over and over and over. My inshore game used to be, I would use my offshore gear. I would use a 4 or 6-aught pin on a 100-pound test with a 100-pound leader and a 6-ounce lead and throw a live pinfish out. If a snook or a red got it, great. But now, since I've been fishing with Jeffrey, Geoff I call him, and Andrew and different things, and talking with different people, I use a lot of lighter gear inshore, but still definitely live bait. Offshore is always live bait or just cut up, dead bait. I've never been into, I don't know. I'm a lazy fisherman, and I just love grouper digging. I drop down, and grouper's not very complicated. When it tugs, you reel as fast as you can. That first 30 feet, get them out, and then
when you're jigging,
then it's all just hauling them up.
When you're jigging for the groupers, is it ballyhoo? Is that what you're using for bait?
I don't jig for grouper. I use anything for bait for grouper. They'll eat anything. You can catch a keeper grouper, hook him, catch a bigger one. Grouper, they used to throw them back, call them trash fish. So
wow.
because the way will I eat anything? But then they taste one, and now they're $30 a pound. But
yeah.
Yeah, no, I use a lot of dead bait. We make our own chum. We'll get a slick going if we see tuna out there while we're out there. I fish with Andrew Novak a lot, so we do it in the Goog sled, we call it. We do a lot of good runs out there, and he gets some good chum going. So we get free lines out for tuna, bonita, false albie, whatever you want to call them, things like that. But the ARS, I mean, they're so thick here. The American Red Snapper, that's great.
Oh,
the
yeah.
mangoes, lanes, we love our snapper. So,
Oh yeah. Snapper, one of my favorites. All right, well, just hold on with me here. We got to take a break. It's the top of the hour. My friends, don't go away. It's the Fish Florida Show this morning with Riscala and Robert from the Florida Fisherman magazine, and my guest, Darren. He is one of the editors on, well, his title is editor, but he's a fisherman and somebody with a lot of experience in social media. And he'll be coming back, joining us after the break, so don't go away. It's the Fish Florida Show, and here we go.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Right. Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I wasn't sure if I could do it. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but the teachers, the counselors, they help you. One of the teachers was Miss Araceli. Miss Araceli, she gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll come over and she'll sit there with you until you get it. Thank you, Miss Araceli. I know you make a difference in people's lives because of the person and teacher you are. I wanted to be here because I wanted to thank you for helping me get a beautiful gift. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work. Getting your high school diploma, it is a life-changing experience. It really is.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Have you ever heard of Audible? Audible is a website with hundreds of thousands of audiobooks. They're all high quality, easy to listen to, and, best of all, if you take advantage of a special deal that we've worked out for you, you can get one for free. That's right, a free audiobook of your choice in any genre, simply by going to audibletrial.com/openeyes and signing up for the free trial. It's simple to do, and it would support the shows that we bring to you, and hey, you get a free book out of the whole thing. So why not take advantage of it today? Go to audibletrial.com/openeyes and sign up for the trial.
Ask 10 different scientists about the environment, population control, genetics, and you'll get 10 different answers. But there's one thing every scientist on the planet agrees on. Whether it happens in 100 years, or 1,000 years, or 1,000,000 years, eventually our sun will grow cold and go out. When that happens, it won't just take us. It'll take Marilyn Monroe, and Lao Tzu, and Einstein, and Morobuto, and Buddy Holly, and Aristophanes. All of this was for nothing. Unless we go to the stars.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
this highway reminds me of you. This empty seat beside me keeps calling out your name, and the way the taillights keep on shining on that life I left behind me. Every mile, every sign is reminding me why I ain't turning around this time. If you miss me already, ready, steal the keys to Daddy's car, baby, come and get me, get me. I'm just out here chasing stars. I have come this far, and my gypsy heart will show you where I am. So catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. For you I drive a little slower, but there's no way I'm pulling over. 'Cause these wheels, they started rolling, and they ain't ever gonna stop. I gas it up, hit the road, got a long way to go, baby, burn the black top. If you miss me already, ready, steal the keys to Daddy's car, baby, come and get me, get me. I'm just out here chasing stars. I have come this far, and my gypsy heart will show you where I am. So catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. Oh, I'm not trying to hide. I'm out here in the wide open. If you miss me already, ready, baby, come and get me, get me. If you miss me already, ready, steal the keys to Daddy's car, baby, come and get me, get me. I'm just out here chasing stars. I have come this far, and my gypsy heart will show you where I am. Well, I have come this far, and my gypsy heart will show you where I am. So catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. If you can.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
Oh, I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
And we are back, and that was Maggie Bow with who sang the song "Catch Me." Maggie, I happened to meet when I was doing AM radio here in Palm Beach County some time back. She was a young lady. I think she's still in her teens. Very talented young lady, and very, very sweet, very cordial, and had given me the opportunity to introduce her music over the AM radio waves, and kind of carried that on. Every once in a while I like to play her song. I like that song. It was, kind of reminds me of fishing in a way. Catch me if you can. That's really what it's about when we're out there. I tell people many times we're out fishing, it's kind of sort of like being in a lottery. You don't know what you're going to get. You may be targeting a specific species, but there's no guarantee that that's what you're going to get. You could end up with something completely different. So that kind of reminds me of fishing days.
Exactly why we're going to grab that big canyon, Robert.
There you go.
And we are back.
Catching is always better than fishing. So.
We are back with Robert and with Darren, and both Robert and Darren are with the Florida Fisherman magazine. You can find the magazine at flfishmag.com. Welcome back, gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time. Robert, thank you for standing in, and Darren, thank you for taking the time to call in and share with us.
Not a problem. I'm enjoying it.
So you had
so
mentioned
what's going on at Hubbard's? Anything special going on at Hubbard's?
Hubbard's
I know
watch
they've got
daily.
those long range trips going.
Oh yeah, and I was just speaking with Captain David. Actually, last night he was going out. He was heading out to the middle grounds, and right before he was losing signal, we were talking.
Those 39-hour trips they go on.
39.
Yeah, well, heck, they used to do those back when I worked for Dylan's daddy Mark. They're doing those longer ones now, even. And they're taking people out. They're doing crazy stuff. It's just mad. They're doing stuff. They'll take people out to the middle grounds and throw them off in kayaks. They're just having a blast, man. And Mark has just done an amazing job, with following in his dad's steps. Excuse me. He's really a class act guy too. So both of them are. They've always.
Oh, Dylan. Yeah.
Yes. Dylan. I mean, I can remember when he was 4 feet tall. He was 10 years old. I think the first time I met him.
Yeah. When you say 39 hours, you're talking about 39 continuous hours on a boat fishing?
Oh, yes, sir. But now they do longer than that now.
Lord have mercy. Wait a minute. So you're paying these people to go out on their vessel for 38 or 39, however many hours. I take it that they provide you with food and lodging.
You can bring your food, but they got a full galley. Yes, sir. Full galley, bunks.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Where's this out of?
Yep, showers.
Where's it out
of? Johns Pass, Florida.
Yeah, Johns Pass. It's out of Hubbard's Marina.
Mm-hmm. One side of the bridge is Treasure Island. The other side of the bridge is Madeira Beach.
My goodness. And that, I didn't
they
realize.
Have half-day trips also for, if you want to take kids, or even just, if you want to just go out for a while, and you could take your fish right up to the restaurant. They'll cook it for you it's cheap, and throw in all the fixings. So, you don't even have to do the cooking.
I like it.
Yeah, they've been around for years and years.
Wow.
So
great I'm curious now, when you take one of these long trips, where do they take you? They take you way out in the ocean?
They're heading, like I said, David was heading out on one last night. He's one of their captains.
Mm-hmm.
And they were heading to the middle grounds, which is about, from there it's about 100 miles, depending on, the middle grounds is a very wide area in the Gulf of Mexico. So depending on where they're at, but I usually say roughly 100 miles due west of Johns Pass, but you can get at it from about 60 miles out. But it's, like I said, it's a very wide area. So
wow,
but it's a deeper drop for up here. For us, anything but once you get past the Skyway and the shipping channel, the water gets deeper. Up here, a little north, we got to go out way deep, way further out. Excuse me. To get
way out.
Yeah, it's not at all like the Atlantic side. The Atlantic side drops off pretty quick.
No, it's nothing. And I've been watching so much and learning so much because I'm heading down there. It's completely different. Like Captain Cavan with Florida Sport Fishing Getaway, I share a lot of his stuff. He's an awesome captain. But I see they get off, and down there by you, Robert, you guys get offshore 20 miles, you're in 500 feet of water easy.
Or more.
We don't have that.
Yeah. It doesn't take far on the East Coast. Many years ago, when I was in the Air Force, they stationed me in Panama City, which is up there in the Panhandle, and I was shocked at how far we had to go to get to 30, 40 feet of water. It was like, oh my gosh, come on, man.
Yes, North Florida is all shallow. You can wade it. You just need your waders. You don't need a boat. That used to be our old joke. Even when I commercial fish, we would head south. Even though we were out of Madeira Beach, as a matter of fact, we would always head south. Try to get southwest of the Tortugas in that 1,500 feet, 3,000 feet, stuff like that.
I want to ask you about the redfish, because you mentioned the redfish, and Pam, who is one of my usual co-hosts, she's out of the general area that you're in, and she's been telling me the same, that the redfish is hot. What are you using for bait when you're baiting for these things? What kind of a rig?
We use strictly shrimp, and we use a 3/0 foot. That's it.
Live shrimp or dead shrimp?
Live shrimp. Live shrimp is that's our go-to.
Mm-hmm.
I fish with Jeffrey Groves, and we put 22 redfish on the deck the other night in 5 hours. And, it used to take me 6 months to even catch one, so that's what got me into. I get so many offers to go fishing, and but I did take him up, and I've been hooked on inshore fishing since. And learning so much.
Yeah,
from
black
him.
and redfish is a tasty thing to have too. So.
Yes, it is. Yes,
is
snook is my favorite fish in the ocean, except for yellow edge grouper.
Is there?
Yeah, there you go.
Redfish is that a cross between a drum and something else? Is that
Well,
what I'm
it's
thinking?
a drum. It is a
the
drum.
drum family.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's a red drum instead of a black drum.
I see. Okay.
I've just learned that you can eat black drum.
Oh.
I thought they were throwback fish. Then I even had to, Robert knows Cindy Nugent. I had to call Cindy Nugent and ask her. I thought Jeffrey was pulling my leg when he said we keep the, and no, they throw you in jail in Texas if you throw one back. So, yeah, no, I didn't know that.
How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But the redfish, now we got people like, Eric and stuff that use completely artificial. And Eric Whitted, and I mean, they catch solid fish day after day after day after day.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not an artificial guy. I'm a lazy angler, man.
So
it happens.
You're using just the shrimp and a hook. There's no sinker involved.
No, because we get skinny, is what we call it. We get so shallow. We are fishing literally underneath. Our target, a great cast, was underneath the mangroves. We want to get so close, scary close. We want to get underneath the mangroves when we fish.
Wow.
We want to be in about 6 inches of water. We get very skinny.
Oh my goodness!
Right on.
Right
on the twin V, and
get to fight the no-see-ums too.
Yeah, those are, once the sun goes down, then it's the mosquitoes, but we got off for that, so we're good.
You know how I feel about off, Robert. You have to talk to him about what he's using. We'll get him something else, something a little more safer. So you're in 6 inches of water fishing for these things?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, redfish tail in like a foot of water or less. So.
Wow. And how big are the fish then?
My personal best, and it for me was, I think it was 32.
Holy moly!
We get over slots and slot fish all the time, and keepers. It's not redfish season right now, but to put that many on the deck, yeah, it's amazing. And then snook also, and that's so what. That's a little. Jeffrey's been fishing Tampa Bay all his life, also. So I mean, he knows the spots. We have little secret names for them, but in the water is where I tell people they're at. But,
yeah, everybody always wants to know, where were you fishing? And it's like we're really going to tell them. Yes.
In the water.
You got to go.
But they ask the question so sincerely. Where were you? Like 250 feet of water.
Yeah. I'm thinking
everybody has their secret spots, but he's been fishing the bay so much, and I've just got lucky enough where I finally took him up, and we've been fishing ever since. Same thing with Andrew. I got lucky enough, and I mean, he has some great offshore numbers, and I can share some with him when he comes up this way. But we fish out, but he's offshore. We love to go offshore, but this inshore thing I've really gotten into with, and it's just, I mean, we've been slamming them, snook and now it's triple tail.
Yeah, we got to do a trip with Griffin Deans here shortly. He's out of Bradenton.
Oh yeah, yes.
And we're going to go over and shoot some videos and do some fishing with him here shortly. So
there's not a day he doesn't come in without fish.
Wow.
Every day I post him, and
yep.
That's how he became one of our guys that gives us our monthly report. He was just a friend. I see him. I just started sharing them, and who knows?
Where's he out of, Robert?
Bradenton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just across the Skyway, just on the other side of the Skyway from me. He's not far.
Wow.
From me, he's a little. And then we got to get down. Me and Robert have a trip coming up together to get down and see his daughter there.
Oh yeah.
And
go
stay.
See Janelle?
Yes, JJ. We're gonna go see JJ. And
Is
he's another solid.
Yeah, she also does some social media stuff for the magazine. She used to do a lot more, but she's busy now. So
I wouldn't want to try to outfight her or outfish her.
No, she's a strong one. That's another one. She's in the gym every morning, 5 o'clock.
Oh my gosh!
And yeah, she can outlift a lot of the men I know. So
wow.
Yeah, she's definitely so. There's a lot. So yeah, the short story is, yes, the magazine has just opened up a lot of stuff, and I can't go without saying I had thrown so much. I just came up with an idea last year about something for veterans, and I threw so much work on Robert, and I didn't realize how big of a deal it would be to get. I was like, well, let's just do a little raffle for some, for the veterans.
Hmm.
You know, I think we sell a few tickets and then we can just hire a captain and take them out. Next thing you know, it's exploded into a huge thing, and you know, we got 5 captains willing, and everybody's getting involved. And Robert's got reels and rods and salt life optics, and I mean, it just couldn't have been. Now it's a continuing thing. But Captain Ben Trainer and Greg Leonard, they're continuing. I mean, they just get people out on the vets out at no cost to them, also. So I just want to give a big shout out to them.
Well, those are the kind of people
all
we
the
like to
people
hear
that,
about.
Yeah.
Go
The
ahead,
people
Robert.
that help out on the magazine are just incredible, just absolutely amazing. We have the most awesome group of people I have ever seen in my life. So
That's nice. You know, just again, it's a testimony to when people come together and work together, what you can come up with. flfishmag.com. Go visit if you haven't seen it. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. Well, Darren, thank you so much for taking the time to call in. It goes by so quickly, especially when we're having a good time and a good conversation. It just literally flew by. So I'm up against that break time again. But I did want to say thank you to you. And any parting words before I go on to this next break?
Nothing. I appreciate you guys helping me. I know I forgot a lot of people, but I appreciate you guys having me. I definitely always shout out to Robert for giving me the opportunity to be a part of it. Like he said, I mean, it's just an amazing thing. Local people, people from all over the world. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. So, no, I appreciate
Thank
you
you,
guys
buddy.
having me on.
All right, my friend. God bless you.
Thank you, Darren.
Wish you a wonderful day.
All right. God bless you.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Grace has some pretty stellar arms, like Serena Williams good, but her face is pretty disgusting.
Someone please tell him to go back into his closet and leave us alone.
Brittany's face is so stupid and I hate her so much. It's like a scientist created her in a lab to annoy humanity and didn't even do that good of a job.
Megan reminds me of a troll doll that came to life intent on killing us with her stupidity.
Why is Grace's head so big? It definitely has nothing to do with how smart she is and probably everything to do with how bloated she is.
He's so funny. Just kidding. Who would find this disfigured flamingo funny?
Never post a selfie of yourself. You look so ugly.
The only reason you have so many views is because we think you're a freak and we can't look away.
Megan is the main reason that the world sucks so much.
I would rather get cancer than listen to another Trevor Moran song.
You are a mistake. You should have never been born.
Drown yourself in a shallow puddle, please.
Wow, I hope she's sterile.
These really stopped being funny a long time ago.
You're so much more than the things that people say about you.
Those people have no right to say cruel things to you to make themselves feel better.
It's okay that you sound different than everyone else.
That's what makes you so special.
We will not tolerate it. We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
Every day, people make me feel like I stand out simply because of the way that I look.
Every day, people make me feel small.
Every day, I face the cruel words of bullying.
And every day, people tell me that I'm brave for enduring this humiliation.
But we're not the brave ones.
It's the ones that say no to the bullying.
The witnesses.
If we all join together, there's nothing that we can't do.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
When we see bullying online,
We will let the world know that we're going to take action with the eye.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
Our actions will overpower cruel words.
I am a witness.
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 There is power in words.
But it's nothing compared to the power of the actions that we put behind our words.
Visit eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm gonna stand by you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, my friends, we are back. The Fish Florida Show this morning with Riscala and Robert from the Florida Fisherman magazine. And our next guest...
Good morning.
Good morning, Robert. Our next guest is going to be Mike Simko with kitefishing.com. Mike has given me a tremendous world of education when it comes to kite fishing. Ignorant me, I thought kite fishing was kind of silly, but he has truly opened my eyes to not only how ignorant I was, but what a great opportunity it provides people when they're using this as a tool to help them out when they're out there fishing. Good morning, Mike. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, good morning, Riscala. How are you today?
All right. Are you out on the water right now?
No, I spent 14 hours out yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
Dolphins.
Wow.
So we had a great. It took that long just because we had so many. We had to clean them, but it was really a great day, and that's that time of year, springtime.
Wow. So, and
it is indeed.
How many dolphins did you get?
We got. I lost count after 15, but we got.
Oh my
they
gosh.
were all in the 10 to 15 pound range.
Oh, perfect. Wow.
Had to do a lot of running and gunning to find them, but I think we ventured as far as 33 miles out off of Palm Beach, and same old story. Just run until you find a sign and work the signs pretty well. Like, if you see flyers come up, if we see a nice weed patch, anything that's kind of looks like it's holding bait, we work some weedless. I'll throw some weedless squid out around those patches, which is a good form of prospecting. And then, once you hook one up, it's game on. Start chumming and try to keep them by the boat.
It's amazing how you go from nothing to instant insanity when this occurs. It's like it's such a rush. There's really no way to describe it.
Well, then, as you
Where
know,
do you fish out of?
I fish out of Palm Beach. Jupiter.
And the name of your boat?
South Florida. Kite Keeper.
Kite Keeper. I will keep that in mind. I'm going to track you down.
That's great. Yeah, we and this time of year too, we start thinking. I start thinking a little bit less about sail fishing and kite fishing, and we'll start planning some Bahama trips. We've got one coming up in 2 weeks. Taking some guys on their annual little guys trip, and the two
over
are running
for some
over
yellowfin.
Yellowfin are running. There's still some lingering wahoo on some of the banks. Of course, mahi, big mahi, will cruise through there, and marlin. So this is great. I mean, you got almost everything out there.
Wow.
It's a great time of year, isn't it?
It's awesome. It's awesome. We may not have the cold seasons and fall and winter like the north, but we've got those fish seasons that come through.
Yeah, we do.
And right now is the time to do
I'm hoping
it.
this was our last cold front, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of bittersweet for me. I love cold fronts because they usually get those sailfish moving. But, it's that time of year for a little different change.
Yeah, well, we got sailfish coming in I'm in Stewart, from here all the way down to the Keys, so it's spread out pretty good. So.
Yeah, boats that I fish quite often, I wasn't able to join them because of conflicts, but they did pretty well down at the final sail in Miami this weekend. There was a good bite. I think the top boat was 15, 20 fish, and on down from there.
Wow.
It's a great day.
So from what I'm hearing, the fishing in general is just good right now. Whether you're going to be on the top or whether you're going to be on the bottom, get out there and do it, right? That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, no question.
April, like I said, April through July are my favorite times to fish. So,
go ahead, Mike.
No, that's great. I agree with you. I mean, I think this spring is kind of the similar to our fall run. So, fall and spring are when the migrations come through of, so many great fish. So let's take advantage of it.
And the weather's beautiful. I don't know if you've seen the ocean. I know you're on the East Coast, but I'm looking at the radar, and it's just really nothing but sunshine out there today.
Yeah, that's what we have today, and yesterday, same. It's 2-foot seas, light breeze. It's just a beautiful time to get out in the water.
A lot better than last week, eh, Mike?
Oh, yeah, listen. But, as we said, Robert, that changes in a heartbeat. It's who knows what happens. It's just like the calm before the storm. I'm sure this week it'll start blowing again.
Yeah, probably.
And if you're thinking about going to the beach today, I just want to remind you that according to NOAA, they are, as of 8:30 this morning, they were still saying moderate risk of rip currents on all Atlantic beaches. So just use care. Enjoy yourself, but just be aware. Moderate risk of rip currents along all Atlantic beaches. Everything else looks great. Seas around 2 feet. Intracoastal waters at light to moderate chop. Other than that, it looks great. So you're going to get out there and enjoy it. A beautiful sunny day. It started out, I got out there at about 7 o'clock in the morning and let the dog out. And I was looking up in the sky and I was just, oh my goodness, big, beautiful sky, a couple of puffy white clouds here and there, a very, very, very light breeze. And I thought to myself, got to get out there and smell that ocean. And it's something that I haven't done in about a month now. And it's almost like a craving. Want to get out there and, feel the ocean breeze on your face and things like that.
Nothing like it.
Well, when we talk every week, Rascal, we usually talk about kite fishing. So I wanted to add a little something to that. We, when conditions are like they are, yesterday and today, we have a east breeze, southeast breeze, and we have that spring migration of fish. One of the real fun things to do off our beaches here, and there's a couple spots in South Florida that are not as populated with people on the beach, so it's nice for boats to slide up as close as we can get and get some bait. You can use cut bait, you can use live bait. In my case, I like to fly a kite with the east wind. We'll get that kite literally hovering over like the 4-foot shallows, 3 and 4 foot shallows. Mm-hmm. I'll anchor where it's safe, so if there's a little bit of a break, I get beyond the break line. We fly a kite and a live bait like a blue runner or a goggle eye or just basically anything that kicks. And the spinner shark fishing is outstanding. So,
wow.
Catching black tips and spinners on a kite is just a magnificent.
Yeah, I saw that big migration came through about 2 weeks ago. So
yeah,
there was a huge migration came through. Yep.
Then it churned up. Then we got that crazy blow and rain, and the water turned nasty, but it's getting clear again. Looks really beautiful now. So I'll probably do that later.
How's the cobia fishing been?
Oh, great.
Cobia fishing been any good?
2 weeks. 2 weeks now. It's been great. Of course, the challenge is always getting them away from the sharks. So, it's the same old story. Down my way, you got the rubble pile off of Palm Beach. You got Lost Tree, Juneau Ledge. There's fish everywhere, and when the water cleans up like it is now, it's a great time to run the beach 15 feet of depth, and if you can get higher, stand up on the gunnel or get up on a mini tower or tower and spot fish them.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and I like the shallows. I like fishing the shallow water too because you're not really contending with those big bull sharks, generally speaking.
You remind me of days when I was down in the Keys. I don't know if this still happens. This is years ago. We'd be down in the Keys, shallow fishing, 20, 25 feet, down in the bottom, looking for snappers and groupers and things of that nature, yellowtails. And everything would be fine. We'd be fishing, catching fish, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, somebody would just bring up a head, and we knew that there was a barracuda around somewhere. So we pick up our lines and we'd move. We'd move sometimes as much as a mile or so away. We'd drop our lines and everything would be fine for the first 5 or 6 minutes, and somebody would pull up ahead. These barracuda, I'm not kidding you. I know it sounds crazy, but they would follow us. I guess they figured, hey, this is a free meal. This is easy. So they would follow us from one place to another. So
there's a lot of them down there.
Wow.
Yeah, they get trained. I mean, even the sharks around here, the dive boats, when the sharks kind of sense the dive boats coming to their little areas, the general, dive spots off of Jupiter, those sharks just show up like dinner bell.
Wow.
So, they can be somewhat...
Nothing beats a free meal.
Yeah.
It was a little irritating, but that's what you remind me of when you said you had to fight and get them in before the sharks could get them. It reminded me of being down here in the Keys. Had to horse them up before the barracuda would come up. What we found out was it didn't matter how fast you horsed them up. The monster was sitting under the boat where you couldn't see him because the water's pretty clear down there. And I kept looking around, where is this thing, man? I don't see it. It must be really way out there and have a tremendous sense of what's going on and just ripping in here. But no, he was up under the boat. And he wasn't a little thing. This one was about 4.5 feet. Would come right out, knew exactly where to bite the fish, just leave you the head, and he got the meat, and see you bye.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still there, but if you ever get down to Fort Jefferson, there's right where the dock is, there's one that used to just hang out there. He's got to be close to 6 feet long.
Oh, my gosh.
And he just hung out there at that dock every day.
Wow.
Because people fed him. So.
Wow. Amazing stuff. So, Mike, where's the next tournament that you're involved in now?
We're going to end up fishing the final leg of the Operation Sailfish in Key West. That's going to happen next month. Then, from there we start to prepare the boat for the Mike Schmidt Winner's Circle tournament, which is at the end of April, and then it's July. July will be the Triple Crown in Bermuda for Marlin.
Wow.
That's the plan.
I think I missed it this year. I'm almost positive I did. The Jimmy Johnson thing, did you do that this year?
Yeah, we did the Jimmy Johnson, and it wasn't the best finish for us, but that Keys is a whole different fishing. It's a whole different fishery that you can take a guy out of his water, and it's going to take a while to figure that out. Because when those fish move up on the sand flats, it's a whole different type of fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're learning that. We're still learning that. And
that's a different beast down there.
It really is. It really is. So just got to get some years under our belt and some experience. And
hey, do you know
when
is that? When's that big tournament in Pompano? They have that big shootout every year.
Yeah,
the rodeo, the fishing rodeo.
It was the Pompano Fishing Rodeo, and that was either.
Yeah, that's been going on forever.
Yeah.
So is that happening now, or is that happening in the future? Or has it already happened?
No, it's in June or July, I think. So.
Okay. The Pompano Fishing Rodeo. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know. They're saying May 20th, so it's probably end of May. I just googled it.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty typical for those big KDWs. May, June, July. Big Dog, Fat Cats, beginning of July. The West Palm Fishing Club's big KDW is in June. And then, you guys are going to think I do nothing but fish. I actually have a full-time job, but there's a Wahoo series, which is once a month on the full moon, June, July, and August. We like to fish that. Listen, you fish these tournaments enough and you make some great friendships and good contacts, and I think ultimately it helps the industry, helps our fishing.
Yeah, that big bull and cow tournament that Jack Carlson runs out of Marathon's coming up in May too. So.
Well, yeah, that's the time, man. Those big ones start migrating.
Yep.
Okay, so
thinking of a different.
Go ahead,
that's
Mike.
A different fishery too, the way they run and gun.
You got me curious. So, what's your full-time job? I think I've asked you this before.
Yeah, I'm a business advisor for a company called Captive One, and so we specialize in captive insurance companies. And not to talk about that, but the good part is also that we have a fleet of boats in the company that we also entertain clients with.
Wow.
So that's just, some people take clients golfing. We try to do fishing.
Yeah. Great.
Fishing is a way to get folks on the water and it gives us 4 or 5 hours to talk business too.
Wow. I like it. That's a great idea.
And they can't get away from you either.
Well, that's right. We like to call them captive audience.
That is a captive audience.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. I wasn't ready for that one. Now, you got to warn me, Robert. Come on. It's still early in the morning for me.
Well, no, here, I managed car dealerships for, almost 40 years.
Lord have mercy.
And one of the things we used to do when we had an invitation sale was I used to keep a freezer full of Haagen-Dazs pints of ice cream and ice cream bags. And if people would come in and they weren't ready to buy a car, I'd give them the ice cream. And then they had to go home. There was no more shopping for them.
That's awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's, I think if you're going to fish a lot, you probably need a full-time job to fund this unbelievable hobby.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Mike, thank you so much for taking time to call in. I am out of time. Before we go, if anybody wants some more information about...
meeting you, Mike. I'm going to track you down.
Do it. All right, Robert, appreciate that.
And before we go, if anybody wants more information about kite fishing or anything like that, you want to give that out?
Yeah, just it's really easy. You can find me on kitefishing.com, and it's got my contact information on there. And I just like to spread the word regarding that. It's not a complicated effort. It's a lot more fun than you would think.
It is, and fun and a great opportunity. I was amazed at how it raises the opportunity of you going after something. If you're focusing on a particular species, how it raises the opportunity for you to catch what you're looking for. Thank you, Mike. I greatly appreciate it.
Mike in the magazine too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Wish you well, my friend.
Okay. You too.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
From the author of Silent Steps and Haunted, Finding an Explanation for the Unknown, comes a story so chilling it will haunt you for years to come. Krista is a young woman escaping her past, running away from her family, her traumas, and her God, hoping to find a new life in a different town. But when she is forced to make a horrible choice, she comes to realize malevolent entities have controlled the true darkness she has been a part of. That is when her real terror begins. Penitence is disturbing and evocative. It will tear down the walls between what is real and what is nightmare. Penitence is the new novel by the man called the new master of speculative fiction, Ira Robinson. Find it and all of his books at his website, originalworlds.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer, and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dip's also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today, 561-793-9992. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, where your pet gets celebrity treatment.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the final segment of the show. If you've missed any part of this show, you're just tuning in. You missed it on quite a bit, but it doesn't have to be forever because we do archive the shows, and you can find them at fishfloridashow.com, and you'll find our archives there if you just click on past events. And we're easy to listen to. We have many ways that you can listen to us. Those of you who sometimes may be not in an area where you have data available, you can actually call in just to listen. You won't be able to get into the host line, but you can call in just to listen, 701-719-9704. Or you can find us on Facebook. That's one of the easiest ways. Go to Facebook, find the Fish Florida Show on Facebook, and just click on Contact Us. That will take you to our streaming server, our live streaming server. You can hear us there as well. This morning, usually my co-host is Pam Worth. She's one of the top female kayak anglers here in Florida. She's out there pre-fishing. She's working one of the tournaments, pre-fishing one of the tournaments that she's involved in. So she wasn't able to join us. So in her place, gracious of him, Robert Warner. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning. Yes, Pam is out doing what we should all be doing.
Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine. You can find them at flfishmag.com. And my next guest, who is down in the Keys, who I enjoy so much having on because I missed having a contact down there. This is Angelia Swanson, and she is also known as the Florida Salty Cowgirl. Good morning.
Good morning, Riscala, and good morning, Robert. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Good morning, Angelia. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear from you. The Keys have been beautiful, guys. This week is going to be a great week, too. We've got several days of just gorgeous weather, and the fishing's been great. I'm just waiting to shove off until I get off the phone with you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we won't keep you long.
Well, I'm anticipating mahi season anxiously, and I just posted a really cool video of me landing one last year. And, yeah, I'm ready for the mahi to come in. But right now, the fishing's still really good. Oh, yeah, it's that time. And, you know, it's weird because the mahi never went away really this year. You know, they even picked up little schoolies all through the winter. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, even up here, they never completely left. So
isn't that crazy? We had more sargassum than ever. We had record numbers, you know, of sargassum. In fact, it was a problem in some of the canals. But, yeah, the mahi never went away. I think that's the weirdest thing ever. But I'm ready for them to come back in droves. And I'm ready for the big ones to come back in droves. And
yeah, it looks like the
Robert,
blackfin tuna fishing's been really good down there too, from what I've seen.
Blackfin tuna fishing is year-round down there, and you can catch them on the troll, and you can also go out to the humps and jig for them, or catch them on the troll out there too. But there's no limit on blackfin tuna, and there's no size limit, no bag limit, and you can literally go out there any time of the year and catch as much blackfin tuna as you want.
If you know how to do it.
Yeah, that's one of my staple catches. I've caught 20 in a day. You know?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I've
Tasty
also
little things too.
They are.
Yes, and I also just missed the IGFA record by like a quarter of a pound on my.
Oh
big
my
one,
goodness!
too.
Wow.
I know, it hurt so bad.
Wow.
But yeah, blackfin tuna are always biting. In fact, sometimes you'll go out to the hump and they'll be just boiling at the surface. I've got videos of that too, but it's just wonderful. Absolutely beautiful. But I wanted to kind of touch on something Robert said earlier about how the Keys fisheries is a completely different type of fisheries.
Hmm?
You know, I'm from the west central coast of Florida, like the Clearwater, St. Pete area, Pinellas County, and I fished for grouper in the Gulf my whole life. And even earlier, you guys were talking about getting depth. You could go out 20 miles and you're still in 70 foot of water, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas on the Atlantic coast, you go out 5 miles and you're in 400 foot of water.
Right.
But anyway, when I was catching grouper here on the west coast of Florida, I thought I was the grouper master, you know? Then I got down to the Keys bragging about being the grouper master, and I couldn't catch a grouper to save my life. I had to reteach myself how to catch grouper down there. So it's a complete different type of fishery. The fish are just, it's different. I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, yeah, the
really
grouper
is.
in the Keys, you can find them on the reef, or you can find them on the wrecks, or you can find, you know, they're spread
And they
out
won't
so
bite
much.
on
It's not like
squid or-
you're looking in the same spot every time. So
Exactly. They're everywhere. And what I found is they won't eat down in the Keys. They won't bite on a dead frozen fish or squid or something. They want live pilchards. That's the way to get your big
or
grouper down there.
Or a live grunt. They love live grunts.
Or a live grunt. Heck yeah. You can reel up a teeny little grunt. Hell yeah. That, you throw it right back down there.
Never
and they'll
thought of that.
take that in a heartbeat. But yeah, they really like live pilchards, and they're expensive. So it can get a little pricey with those groupers when they get them from you every time. But like I said, once again, the grouper are coming in big and fat and nice, and no complaints with refishing at all right now. The yellowtail snapper
season
coming
opens
in.
May 1st.
I know. We're like anxiously awaiting since we know they're
Yeah,
biting.
me too. I'll be down May the 8th. So.
Ooh. Wow.
Great, Robert. Yeah, the yellowtail have been coming in giant too. I mean, anything over 23 inches we call the flag, and I mean, we limited out on nothing but flags.
Wow.
I mean,
I
it's
saw
insane.
that the other day. Yep.
Yep, we were just throwing back the small ones because why keep
And
them?
that-
There's a limit on those.
Of all the things in the ocean, that is my favorite fish to eat too. I
You know
love
what I call
yellowtail.
it?
Yellowtail?
I call
Absolutely love
yellowtail
yellowtail.
snapper. I call yellowtail snapper the filet mignon of the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have to
It
agree
is
with
to me.
Robert.
Yep.
It's buttery and it's the most perfect consistency, and it almost melts in your
Oh.
mouth, and it's the most
It
wonderful
does.
fish ever.
Okay, I'm hungry
I
now.
agree with
Now you've done it.
I know, right? I need a fish sandwich.
Angelia,
Yes, yellowtail has to be one of the best.
I wanted to ask you if you'd heard about this swordfish that was caught. I think it came in at Bud and Mary's at
It
700.
came in at Bud and Mary's,
Yeah.
and that was Richard Stancic Jr., and he's amazing. And, you know, Senior is the tarpon king of the Keys. He's amazing also, and he's still out there fishing. I don't know how old he is, but he's up there in years, and he's still out there catching tarpon with folks. But his son came up there at Bud and Mary, grew up around Bud and Mary's there, and of course now he's taken over, and he is still relatively young. Him and his new wife just had a baby, and they seem like just the nicest people ever. But yeah, he landed that fish. What was it, like 1,375 pounds or something?
781 pound swordfish.
Okay, 781.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
think
was
it's 781. I
He is
think.
Yeah, I
swordfish
knew it was
master,
ridiculously
so.
huge. Yeah, he is the swordfish master too. I mean, if you want to catch a swordfish, he is the one to go to. He is the man. He's got that down pat. But yes, that fish was just amazing. I can't even imagine how they got it on the boat.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a hydraulic lift to get that dang thing on the boat. But
Oh my
yes,
gosh!
that was amazing.
So the reason why I'm bringing it up is I'm asking because I know that you're out there frequently. Have you ever run into a swordfish out there?
No, it's a specific type of fishing for swordfish. They're in very deep water.
Mhm.
They're in thousands of feet of water usually. Now, I've seen some flukes where they catch them in shallower water, but usually swordfish is very, very deep water fishing. It requires different types of equipment. Of course, they're extremely large fish, so you have to have a lot of heavier gear. And no, personally, I've never been sword fishing. That's on my list.
What's the if it's fair to say this, what's the strangest that you've caught out down there in the Keys that you can think of?
God. Oh my goodness! Wow.
I was fishing down there one time and I caught a baby. I think it's called a gray marlin. Is there such a thing as a gray or a white marlin?
Absolutely.
Maybe it's a white marlin.
Oh, absolutely.
White marlin, yeah.
Yeah. It was a baby white
There's
marlin.
White marlin, there's blue marlin, and black marlin.
Yeah. And we didn't harm it. We put it right back. This thing was maybe 30, 40 pounds. It was just a baby.
You know, I would think some of the most obscure stuff that I've caught has been on the reef, and they've been more like ornamental fish, in my opinion, like giant angelfish that are just so beautiful that I put them back in the water because I don't care how good they taste. I can't put a knife in them because they're just too beautiful.
They fight really hard too, right?
Yes, they do.
Heck of a
They're fun
fight.
to catch.
Yeah.
And I think some of the parrotfish are some of the most beautiful fish I've ever seen in my life. And I've caught some giant ones of those. And same thing, they're supposed to be fantastic eating, but they're just absolutely so beautiful. I can't put a knife in them.
They are
back in the water.
They are very colorful. And I was shocked. Somebody on the show was telling me that they ate them, and I was shocked because I caught them many times and thrown them back, thinking that it's not a good fish to eat. But they're saying, oh yeah, they're very tasty.
Something funny. I had a picture of a real pretty bright blue one I posted, and somebody from the Virgin Islands is, I think, where it was, in St. Thomas or something, and he commented to me, did you eat it? And I said, heck no, I didn't eat it. I can't put a knife in that beautiful fish. And he said, well, that's our main staple fish here. That's what we eat,
Wow.
period. It's beautiful and it's delicious and it's white and flaky and mild, but you know what? It's just too pretty to put a knife into. I can't do it. I catch plenty of other fish. Why would I want to put a knife in this beautiful fish?
Well, there's a good reason why they're called parrotfish, because they have colors literally like a parrot.
They are amazing. I mean, just beautiful.
I think strawberry grouper are beautiful too, but I eat them. So.
Yeah, strawberry grouper's one of them. Yeah. That baby's not going back.
You're right there, Robert. I will eat some of the most beautiful grouper I've ever seen. Those nice rock kinds and those big strawberries. I will eat those.
Yeah, and they are pretty, but they taste too good.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous. What I call aquarium fish, I just can't eat them.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They're too beautiful. They're ornamental fish. They just are. I mean, that's the stuff I want to see
I agree with
when
you.
I'm down there diving. And I love to dive. I'm an avid diver. So
I didn't know that.
This fish down there on the reef.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm an avid scuba diver. I spearfish as well.
So you know what? I'm looking for somebody who goes down to the ocean bottom and can tell us, hey, this is happening, this is not happening. When was the last time that you were down?
What would you like to know? I dive frequently. In fact, after Irma, we had a lot of trouble on the reef. There was coral structure that had been knocked down naturally by the tide surge and all that. There was so much sand up on the reef that the reef was smothering and dying, and they were out there pumping sand off of the reef. There's been a lot of changes down there on the bottom. But I tell you what, there is so much life. It's so many fish. And when I first went down to the Keys, one of my dreams was to dive with a sea turtle. When you go down to these beautiful spots on the reefs with, I can't even explain it. Big, nice coral heads that there's tons of lobster in, and everything's just beautiful. I don't even know. It's just unexplainable. It's a whole other world, and you feel like you're at one with everything.
Wow.
But everything's kind of coming back to life. And the lobster last year came in huge. Last several years, we haven't even had to measure the lobster. They're just giant. But yeah, getting to dive down there is amazing. Crystal clear water, every kind of fish you could possibly imagine. So full of, I know I was telling you, I wanted to dive with a sea turtle. The very first time I dove down there in the last several years when I moved down there, there must have been 20 plate-sized sea turtles. I mean, they were everywhere.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that kind of killed that. And I've seen them, as big as 4 feet around, But the reef is very healthy. The signs of life on the reef are beautiful. The reef is very, very healthy.
That's what I'm wanting to hear. Somebody who's down there and saying, "Oh, this is happening and that's happening." Unfortunately,
If anybody wants to support a great organization, the Coral Restoration Foundation is down there in Key Largo. They are a mostly volunteer group, and they replant coral on those reefs from all the way from Key Largo to Key West.
Oh.
And they are a phenomenal group of people. They are just amazing.
I've actually
the work they do.
volunteered with them several times
Wow.
for some of their projects, Robert. Yeah, I really,
great people.
We have 120 miles in the Keys of North America's only living reef. It's very special. We have to take care of it.
Wow.
So whatever we can do to take care of it, I would volunteer and help, because that reef recovery project is wonderful, Robert. They are really a great group. They really, really help with that reef. It's beautiful.
Well,
But the reef is
Angelia,
healthy.
we are completely out of time. Robert, we're completely out of time. Thank you, both of you, for stepping up and standing in for Robert. Thank you for standing in for Pam. And Angelia, thank you for sharing this morning. I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely, my
Good to talk to you,
pleasure.
Angelia.
We'll
You
talk
too, Robert, and everybody else out there. Tight lines, catch them up.
in a week. We'll be back, ladies and friends. Ladies and friends, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and friends. Oh, my goodness.